real estate.
I think. Well, but they've also had pressures with higher cost, higher input cost, so operating margins actually dropped compared to the year before, despite the increase in profit that we're seeing. In terms of so kind of like they call them.
Okay, yeah.
It's probably a stock on my radar as well.
Yeah.
But you gotta be of the entire shares and possibly delisted. But for now, I don't know where that is.
That's gonna happen. All right, Lagos, as usual. Before you take any advice, do you want to talk to a broker before making any purchases or sales as far as stocks? And of course, ARM is a great choice for that. So, is it a similar?
Reported 505 million. It declined by 28.1%, and we said so for retail, it went from 5.7 to 3.8. Then you also have lubes, it went from 46 to about 34.6%.
So it
So I
dropped.
think they saw it was only in their aviation business that they saw a bit of improvement in margins. But in addition to the cost pressures that we've seen, which has affected their margins, you find that the other operating income has also gone down. So they have this income they earn on storage services, and fine. So year on year, it increased about 182 million, but relative to what they were doing pre 2017, which is over 500 million, it's really low. Then you also find that your interest income it declined by about 70%. So interest income right now is about 28 million. I know, and that's basically on the back of the lower cash balance that you had recently. So as MRS is concerned, I know fine they always have this something tax they bring back, and company might really be sus here. It's a very they're in a very tight position.
Tight position. Ugo Dre, thank you for that, Olamide. Ugo Dre, saying the sentiment. What's your thoughts?
Very thin margins, 0.46% or thereabout. I mean, it's basically struggling to hold on to the profit that it has. This industry typically has always had cost pressures. Their margins have always been between 1 and 2%. So when you start to be below 1%, then you're just on the way to reporting a loss. And when you don't have a buffer like movie house, which is other income, then you start to struggle. So for MRS, I think that the current situation is become pressure for the downstream sector.
Okay.
And they basically be the downstream, the majority of the downstream, they basically be the downstream in terms of where they play. Probably need to diversify a bit more, but not stuff that I have positive outlook for. In terms of price earnings ratio, with below 6, it's still a bit cheap, could probably cheaper. In fact, of course, I'm talking about trailing 12 months. So could cheaper in October.
Okay.
So this is more stuff. If you have, you should be very careful.
Very careful, So not very rosy for MRS. All right, thank you guys.
Very quickly, we got a few messages coming in. Gwenga can move very quickly. He says, we hear the scanning equipment broke down at the Lagos airport. Is there any backup maintenance agreement with the manufacturer?
Oh boy.
Going back and forth, who actually owns? Who cost it? Is it Stella?
Right.
Is it not Stella? So Stella fired back yesterday and said it wasn't that. So.
Oh yeah.
Just more pointing fingers, so we do.
It's finger pointing.
Okay, exciting stuff. Aldamiola sent in a message saying, listen, I heard your analyst talk about PE. I'm curious as to how he knows that a PE of 8 times is cheap.
Okay, PE ratio, Ugo Dre, saying why is that
so
cheap?
PE ratio is price earnings ratio. So basically, you look at price earnings ratio of companies within the same sector, right? So if price earnings ratio within the sector is say 7 times earnings, right, and your stock is trading at 4 times earnings, then relative to its competitor, you can say it's cheap. Of course, you got to look at all the things as well. This price earnings good, this price earnings ratio. But price earnings ratio is usually the easiest one that I look at. For example, in the banking sector, the price earnings ratio averages about 6 times earnings. GT Bank typically averages 7 to 8 times earnings. So when you start to see GT Bank hit 9, 10 times earnings, then you got to be a little bit wary, because it means that it's probably overbought, overbought, and then the price might trail further down. So yes, price earnings ratio is a good bellwether for determining whether share prices are good or not.
Nice one. Finance 101. Keep your questions coming. Okay, so you just mentioned the banking center. I think that's what we're going to hop on to now. First Bank, Olamide, they also released their half-year earnings. What are we seeing from them?
Well, first bank result was actually good. It was largely in line with our expectations. So we expected lower provisioning basically for the first half of 2018.
Okay.
And that's what we saw play out. Also, support for their income was they had FX sales. Then we also saw higher non-interest revenue, right? So if you check provisioning Q2 relative to Q1, it was higher. But current run rates, we think for full year to still be lower than what they reported in 2017.
Okay.
Then I think another thing we noticed in their results was we saw that they had some funding cost pressures.
Mm.
In all, First Bank is still one of the stocks we have a buy rating on.
Okay.
So the results was actually a good
All right.
one.
So you guys like First Bank. Ugo Dre, do you share in the sentiment? What are your thoughts on First Bank? Not really.
No, yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical. Not just for First Bank, but for banking stocks generally.
Yeah.
I think that tide is kind of like moving, downwards. A lot of the banking stocks have, I think, some probably have hit their peak. So the market's looking for a repeat of what happened last year when we saw their earnings per share kind of rise dramatically. But now it's unlikely to happen. Banks have started lending again. So a lot of the bonanza that you had with the treasury bills last year has come to an end. So
okay.
I mean, like, you're not getting the kind of yields that you used to get last year. And so for a lot of banks, they're not actually doing real banking business. So pressures are down, and it's unlikely that we're going to see the kind of numbers that we had last year this year, and it's likely going to filter out into next year. So, but then banking stocks remain one of the best stocks you can have out there.
Right.
If you have a very good portfolio, you want to have the full in your portfolio, at least 1 or 2 or 3 of them in your portfolio, just to give you that balance that you need. So yes, still a very good stock, but a little bit worried. Also very worried about their impairments. Impairments are actually rising. You hope that has to stop at some point. Cost to income ratio also has to drop below the 60s. I think that's what the bank is targeting. There's been a lot of restructuring going on in First Bank, and I think that a lot of these things will come to bear sometime early next year. By the time they release their full year results for 2018.
Okay, a few months coming through. Shani says, good morning, sirs. Is it possible to get a listing of stocks using liquidity, that is from the most liquid to the least liquid stock?
There's no category for that for most. I mean, you can pretty much use volume.
I mean, we can work out something, but it's usually volume trading. So maybe like 30-day average.
Okay. And Ayo says, please, can you explain why the downstream oil and gas sector is challenged?
Olamide, why is the downstream oil and gas sector so challenged?
Well, basically, it's just been the fact that they have a fixed so we have domestic which is fixed at 145,
right?
And meanwhile the cost at which they have to bring in is actually higher, so the importation cost or the landing cost moves in line way above that, so that and they've had to lean on NNPC to supply the products to them at a fixed price, which has really affected their margins. So fine, there's diesel which prices are not fixed, and they're able to bring it in themselves. But I think sometime last year NPC went ahead to crash the price. So I think they were doing about 230 at some point in time, and right now it's about just a little over 200. So the margins, while they would have enjoyed something better from AGO and all, the prices are not as favorable as they would like it to be. And so it's just basically importation cost that is affecting them. Global price, crude prices that are rising, which is affecting the importation cost. That's what is affecting them.
Thank you.
And Kamu again comes in with some comments. He says, so the ease of doing business policy of the government is not having effect on cost of doing business in the country, since all the companies that the analysts are talking about seem to have problems with costs. And he asked again, so if banks are not really doing banking business according to Ugo Dre, what are they doing?
They are keeping our money
Someone
safe.
said
Sasha banking. Yeah, Sasha is a slang for playing around in treasury bills. I think that's all the time we have. Only about 40 seconds. We wanted to do a quick outlook for Q2 and also talk about Skybank finally saying they're going to release their results. But I guess we'll touch on that tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for answering our questions. That's the most important part of the show, where people out there get their questions asked. Ugo Dre of Nairametrics, thank you so much. Olamide of ARM, thank you so much as well for your insights on the show.
Yeah, just waiting for that bonanza time to come around again.
Did you miss it?
I really did. I'm still pained. But Lagos, that's okay. Coming up next, though, it will be some interesting entertainment, some great music. Just keep it locked right here to Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. Bonanza.
Yes,